Hey everyone, it's Marianne from the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees with another message for Henry Garrido. Henry, I think it's time that, you come clean. You got to tell everyone what the hell happened in 2014 when you made that deal with Michael Mulgrew to give him $1 billion from the health fund and commit the other unions in the city to recurring healthcare savings. We know what that deal was because you shared it with us. You told us that you made this deal with Mulgrew for the United Federation of Teachers on the eve of their contract being offered, and Michael Mulgrew reneged. It's time that you share what happened. You shared it with us. We were quite disturbed by that. And I think it's time that everyone knows what he did. Because right now you're the only one that's been making such a scene, and he's been largely absent from everything. We all know, including you guys, you all know that the unions do not represent retirees, but you always protected us because you knew one day you would be us. And selling off a retiree health benefit means selling off us, but it's selling off your future. And this is the disturbing part, is pitting active workers against retirees. The disturbing part, too, is that they're not even seeing that this is their future. Right now, we're being painted as outsiders, but you are us. And that is really important that you keep making that connection. We are you, and you are us. You also need to fire all your lawyers, because not only have they lied to everybody, they've lied to you, and they've also lied to the council, and they've lied to your union leaderships. Unions do not represent retirees, but it never stops you from protecting us. You have one attorney that not only represents the MLC, also represents some legal business for DC 37, the United Federation of Teachers, 237, the sanitation. There is no way that this one person who represents labor would be able to independently advocate for all of the unions, especially since one of their largest clients pays them the most money, in excess of over $1 million a year. The other person you need to let go is the arbitrator, because he perpetuated the big lie that unions represent retirees, and we all know that they don't. He also should have voided that 2018 agreement when it got wrapped up in litigation, and he didn't. He wrote a report that made everyone believe that it was an order when it was his opinion and suggestion, but you all sold it as if it was an order, and it's not. One of the things that was time barred was the Medicare Advantage issue, and according to the 2021 letter by Renee Campion to the mayor at the time, Mayor de Blasio, said that you had all met your savings benchmarks in that 2018 agreement, but you had chosen Medicare Advantage because you were using it to finance the stabilization fund. Enrich a fund, mind you, that does not support or benefit the majority of Medicare eligible retirees. It's basically a fund for active workers. So we came up with some suggestions, and you know in advance that last year we came up with a savings chart that gave some suggested projected savings of a low end of $300 million and a high end of $1.6 million savings annually. Our position is that retirees will be able to keep their city supplemental plan paid for by the city of New York. Just as you have for years, you can offer Medicare Advantage plans, and if retirees choose to go into them at open enrollment, then they choose to go into them. And if they choose to come out of them, they choose to come out of them. The New York City Health Program was born in choice, and it should stay that way, Henry. You see, because the plans were thought that if you had sufficient competition, it would drive up services and drive down prices. You are destroying competition, which is not something we should be doing. You want to make sure that you keep insurers honest, and that's one way to do it. Our position is the MLC agreement from 2018 is also illegal, and that should negate that $600 million in recurring savings. You see, several courts have already said that the things that you were trying to do was illegal, including this last judge in this last decision. There was no blow-up clause in there that would account for what to do when you didn't make enough money, only accounted for what you would do if you made too much. Being that the judge declared that forcing retirees into a Medicare Advantage plan or forcing us to pay for something in violation against the HIP HMO benchmark, the Administrative Code 12-126, is illegal. That should negate the $600 million in recurring savings. You're welcome. Henry, this is a primer for impact bargaining. Because we are in a seriously reduced headcount, you're about 25 to 30,000 workers short citywide. That means all workers citywide are picking up more than their share of the work, and they're not getting paid for it. You also negotiated 3% raises after coming out of several years of high inflation of between 8 and 9%. That's a reduction of pay, as well as coming out of a pandemic. I would say with all of those issues, the city owes you money, dude. And you should be claiming that. Tell the city, after everything that they've put you through with forcing you to commit to these type of benchmarks of savings reductions, which really aren't savings, they're givebacks in your healthcare, diminishing your healthcare, getting this whole thing tied up for the last 2 years in court. This deal being negotiated outside with an outside vendor, not even someone who's inside, I would say for sure, it's time. Declare this over. I think OLR needs to end all outside contracts with outside bargaining agents and bargain inside. Collective bargaining is based on relationships. That relationship needs to start within labor relations, and it needs to start with the commissioner of OLR. She needs to start building those relationships with her unions in partnership, not like this. Let's take it as a learning lesson. Let's cut those ties and start all over. I think that's the right way to do it. We call it a mulligan, and for those not in golf, it's a do-over. I think that's the best way to do it. The unions have their changes to make. OLR has their changes to make. You learn from this lesson, and you promise the retirees you will never take a health benefit away from them again. And with that, I think we could all shake on it. Henry, this is a defining moment for you. DC 37 was the largest union in the city. Today, I believe it is the second largest union in the city. Yet you also have to protect the most diverse population with the lowest pensions and the lowest incomes in the city. And that's a big responsibility. Trust me, I know. This is your defining moment. How will you handle this? What decisions will you make? Because up until now, they've been kind of scary. So we're hoping to help you out of this. And these would be our suggestions. Do the right thing, Henry, because not only does your future count on it, the people that are looking up to you count on it, and the future of the labor movement counts on it. And why is that? Because we are labor. We are union. We were born union, and we will die union. We're not going to be giving back anything in retirement. We earned our vested benefits, and it's up to you to protect them. Good luck, Henry. There's a lot of people watching.